Hey guys, it's ExandShadow, and welcome back to Let's Play Banjo-Tooie. In the last part, we got the Mega Globo, and in this part, I'm going to show you what that Mega Globo actually, does. Yeah. So anyway, this is Pine Grove, if you didn't remember or didn't read what it said on the bottom of the screen there. But anyway, if you go into Wumba's hut there at any point, this is where this dialogue happens, even if you don't already have it. So it'll just say, go find the Mega Globo, and then once you find it, you throw it into the pool like normal. Now, the transformation you get from getting the Mega Globo is interesting in that it's the only permanent transformation in the game, in that you have this transformation, it'll work in any level in the entire game. And that's actually pretty sweet. The transformation, as you might be able to see, or not because the model isn't showing it yet, but Kazooie turns into a dragon. And that's actually pretty cool, because Kazooie, instead of doing her peck attack, now breathes fire! Yeah, so that's pretty awesome. However, for this playthrough, I'm not going to be using the dragon transformation, for one reason, and for one reason only. Yeah, when Kazooie turns into a dragon, the sound she makes when doing the Talon Trot changes, and I don't like the dragon sound as much as I like Kazooie's normal sound, so yeah, that's why I'm sticking with a regular bird Kazooie for the rest of the game. I get that Dragon Kazooie is more useful in most ways, because, the fire isn't just a better attack, because, you can hold it down and spin around and it hits enemies more easily, but you can also use it to solve fire puzzles, like in a few sections where you need to set things on fire and stuff. But, that's just one thing where I hate the noise that the dragon makes when it walks around with the Talon Trot, so we're sticking with the Bird Kazooie version this time. Hope you guys don't mind that. Anyway, this is the Smuggler's Cavern, and as I pointed out earlier in the video as I was looking at it, there is a Jiggy there that we cannot get yet. That Jiggy we can get with an ability we get in the 7th level? Yeah, the 7th level. So yeah, just remember that for later, but as far as I can tell, there's no real way to sequence break it without getting that ability, so oh well, sucks to be you, I guess. There's a couple of things you can't get in Jolly Roger's Lagoon until after you finish the 7th level in the game, so that's why I recommend waiting until you do that to backtrack and get all the stuff for this level, because there's a few things that you can get with abilities from the 5th level, and I think the 6th level, but you're just going to want to wait until you get the, until you finish the 7th level before you come back here. Anywho, this is an interesting section right here. We went through another one of those water pipes. We went to the 6th level there, and we got a Jinjo. The thing is, however, that Jinjo counts as a Jinjo for the 5th level. The 6th level, Grunty's Industries. That counts as one of the Jinjos for Grunty's Industries, even though you technically get it by going through Jolly Roger's Lagoon. So when you start up that level, like go in through the main entrance for the first time, you'll already have 1 out of the 5 Jinjos there. So I think that's interesting, although if you missed that one in Jolly Roger's Lagoon, I would guess that trying to find that one Jinjo in the level itself would be rather frustrating. But just remember, it's right there, so if you missed it the first time, that's how you can find it. Now, this little cavern here is sort of representative of one of the problems I have with this level, on top of it just being an underwater level, in that it's sort of confusing trying to find your way around in this place, because, especially before you unlock all of the different, warp pads in Jolly Roger's Lagoon, there's an awful lot of different caverns in here, and it's sort of hard, even for someone who's played the game as much as I have, to remember which cavern goes to which area, because this cavern right here, this cavern has an octopus in it, and you'd normally think, well, that's a recognizable landmark. The cavern with the octopus always goes to location blank, right? No, there's like 3 of these things, so even just seeing an octopus isn't really a marker of where you're supposed to go. So I just wish that the caverns had something a little bit more distinct so that you could tell which area they lead to. Like maybe a more distinct color variation, because while some are green and some are blue, it's not really enough. Like, or maybe even just a sign or something. I know a sign would like the most blatant and least subtle way of doing that, and I'm not saying that's a perfect solution, and I'm not saying that I even have the perfect solution here, but just differentiating how the areas look is something that I think they could have done a little bit better. Anywho, back to talking about the game itself. If you look at this little weird fishy thingy, you'll notice that it has a Jiggy inside of it. You get the Jiggy by using the Talon Torpedo on it. Simple enough. Thing is, however, the Jiggy won't always be there every single time you play the game. I don't remember what these fish are called, but they have a name. But their gimmick is that inside them is a random item. Sometimes it's something simple and unimportant like an egg nest or a couple of feathers, but there's always 3 fish that have something very important in them. One of them has a Cheeto page, one of them has an empty honeycomb, and one of them has a Jiggy. And you're going to want to get all 3 of those things because, Cheeto page, empty honeycomb, Jiggy, they're the main things that you collect in the game. So the problem with it is that while the fish are always set to appear in certain rooms, like there's always a fish in the room that leads to Wumba's hut. There's always a fish in the main Atlantis area. There's always a fish in Smuggler's Cavern, etc., etc. The fish will always be in the same general spots. The only problem is that their contents are randomized every single time. So, sometimes the Jiggy will be in the Smuggler's Cavern fish, sometimes it won't be. Sometimes it'll be in the Atlantis fish, sometimes it won't be. The problem with that is that it's very easy to forget that Jiggy, Cheeto page, and Honeycomb exist. You're searching, you got 9 out of 10 Jiggies in this level, and it's just like, where the hell is that last one? And it's in one of those fishes, and you completely forget about it because, if you're not paying too much attention, it's very easy to miss those fishes. It's very easy to just sort of forget that they exist and go along with your business. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's sort of why they bug me, and it's again, Jolly Roger's Lagoon, while I don't hate the level, I still enjoy it. It's one of the more inherently flawed levels because it introduces a lot of concepts that don't really work for a sort of game like this. The most important of which is the fact that it's an underwater level. Which, not just because underwater levels suck as a whole. No, the fact that it's an underwater level fails in a Banjo-Kazooie game is because Banjo-Kazooie games are all about meticulous exploration and item collecting. And when you expand the scope of a level to be truly 3D, in that, you don't just walk left, right, forward, backward with an occasional jumps. When you're underwater, you're searching a fully 3D area. You can swim up, you can swim down, you can swim under things, over things, all over the place. You've got to search a whole lot more in Jolly Roger's Lagoon in order to find all the stuff in there, which makes it a whole lot easier to miss stuff. Like if you focus too much on the upper levels or the lower levels of a room like this, it could be very easy to miss those sort of transparent fish, which is easy to happen because the thing's always moving around, and it's possible, even if you are looking for it, that you just might not see it anyway, just due to dumb luck and stuff. So yeah, that's why this level is not one of the better ones in the game. Again, it's not anything that I hate going through. I love the atmosphere to the level, the music's great, and it does have some interesting, unique ideas. But, it's just there's a couple of key flaws that keep it from being an exceptional level, which is a shame too, because, there could be a really great water level hidden in here. It's just that there's a few little dings on the armor that keep it from being spectacular, which is a shame. Anywho, this is, I think I'm okay with calling this an even bigger fish. So yeah, your cue to, blow up the fish's teeth, I guess you're just supposed to figure it out on your own, but, the fish, it's implied that you're supposed to go and find the fish when you talk to Jolly, because, as we established before, his stereotypical lesbian friend is down in there. And, yeah, so you're going to want to make sure to pick up the stereotypical, slightly offensive lesbian friend while you're down here. While you remember to pick it up. Also, there's a Jinjo in here, so you're going to want to make sure to pick him up too. This isn't something that you're like locked out of forever if you forget to get it. No, you can go in and out of the fish as many times as you want. It's easy to forget if you don't get the Jinjo in here. looking back inside the fish is not really high on your to-do list, so you're going to want to make sure to go grab that Jinjo before you forget about it. Now, it's not too hard to forget about the Jinjo, though, because there's really only two hallways in the fish. So since this is an exploration-based game to begin with, you know, after you explore one hallway, you should naturally be inclined to explore the other one. So yeah, you shouldn't miss it, but just in case, you don't have to worry. If you missed that Jinjo, you can just go back down and get it. No problem, no questions asked. It's not really that big of a deal. Then again, you'd also have to risk being digested by that thing, so that would suck. Yeah, anyway, as soon as you exit the fish, I recommend going to the warp pad and just getting the Jiggy back from Jolly as soon as you can. Now, you don't get the Jiggy just by freeing Maggie, I think her name was. I don't really remember. But no, you don't just get the Jiggy by doing that. You have to go back to Jolly's bar and talk to him in order to get the Jiggy from him. Now, I joke about them being like slightly offensive stereotypes of a gay and lesbian, and I joke there, but you know, Rare just sort of has this tendency to be offensive for no real good reason, especially in their games and aimed at kids. So I don't know why they made it this way. Maybe they just wanted to piss off gay people for no good reason, but yeah, it's very obvious that they were intending this to be a stereotypical gay bar, because like I'm not sure if I show off the menu. No, wait. I'm just checking the totals. But if you look at the menu, there's a couple of different specials on sale that are of question that could definitely be interpreted as something inappropriate. So, yeah, I don't get why they did that. I mean, I guess for humor, but you know, the whole gay lesbian stereotype thing flew over my head when I was a kid, and this is a game aimed at children, so I don't get why they really did that. Just like go out of their way to potentially offend someone for a joke that would fly over the heads of their intended audience. Now, I get that, you know, Rare has a dirty mind and likes to do these things for the adults or something, but there's a difference between like the sort of Disney Pixar occasionally slip in an adult joke and using a harmful stereotype just to get a cheap sort of crude humor laugh in there. I don't know. That's always, once I, you know, figured out, stopped being a dumbass and just realized what that stereotype was supposed to be, it's always sort of sat with me the wrong way, and I'm not really sure if they intended to be offensive or if it was just sort of an unintentional thing. But you know, I've hammered on about that long enough, and I've probably offended some people myself by talking about it. So I'm just gonna stop talking about it right now and go back to talking about the level. And damn, is this place have a creepy atmosphere. That's one thing that I think that Jolly Roger's Lagoon does really great, is that it nails atmosphere down perfectly. You know, you've got the sort of like peppy, touristy atmosphere from the above ground areas, which works great. And you've got sort of the mystical wonder atmosphere of Atlantis, which also works great. And then there in the sort of Davies Jones locker cabinet area, I think the atmosphere is amazing, mostly due to Grant Kirkhope's amazing soundtrack. I love the way that these games have always sort of just shifted their soundtrack to match the areas, but I think that Jolly Roger's Lagoon does it best because, you know, it's just like each variation of the Jolly Roger's Lagoon theme fits perfectly for the area that they're trying to represent. And it's not just in a, oh, you're outside the level, let's just switch the instruments so that it matches the instruments that plays in that level's theme sort of way. It's like an actual improves the tone of the area way. You know, it's just, it works really well in Tooie, and I love that game so much for it. Anywho, I don't have a whole lot of time to talk about it, but I recommend doing the transformation stuff with Wumba last, because you turn into a submarine that can shoot missiles, and that's really, really awesome. And I'll talk more about what makes this such a great transformation next time. But anyway, next time on Let's Play Banjo-Tooie, we are going to finish up Jolly Roger's Lagoon. I'm ExandShadow, and I'll see you guys later, as soon as I find a way to get out of this room. There we go.